Welcome to the 2022 Oak Cliff Film Festival. We are speaking with the director behind the opening night documentary, Butterflies in the Sky, about reading Rainbow. And I'm going to have him introduce himself.
I'm Bradford Thomason. I'm the co-director of Butterfly in the Sky, documentary about reading Rainbow. Opening night here at Oak Cliff Film Festival, which we love very much.
All right, man. Such a beautiful documentary. I am not ashamed to say that I had some tears in my eyes. It's reading Rainbow, and I feel sorry for children who didn't get to grow up with reading Rainbow. How did this project come to you?
All of our films have sort of come from a place where, we explore something that impacted us as young people, something that has stuck with us, and we try to go and find the story behind the people who made that. Really to sort of understand ourselves better, I think, our childhood. And, one day my co-director, Brett Wickham, he called me up and said, "Hey, has anyone made a Reading Rainbow documentary?" And it was like, I don't think so. And we started doing the research and just started making it,
Yeah, until I saw this, I was like, nobody really talks about it. I mean, you've got reruns and you can find stuff on YouTube, but it's been so long since it ended. And, I got a niece and nephew that have been born in the last 15 years. So thank you very much for making a documentary.
Sure.
Because I think people need to know, especially in this day and age, God forbid we have a show where we teach people or teach kids that reading is cool.
Right, yeah, so, reading is cool.
Now, did you grow up with Reading Rainbow?
Oh, absolutely, yeah, we watched it all the time. I mean,
okay.
that's why we wanted to make it. I mean, it was more of a, here's a show we loved, we talk about it, and then is there a documentary about it? No, let's make it,
Yeah.
Definitely.
When you started this project, I mean, there's always a journey, you're always learning something. What did you learn about this show that you didn't know?
Obviously it exposed me to a lot of episodes and things I hadn't seen before. I learned a lot more about LeVar Burton, the host, and his journey. But really just how pure the passion was from the people who made it. I think, just how sort of by the seat of its pants the show was early on, and how, they were sort of doing something with limited budgets because they cared about children.
Right.
And I just think just the level of passion from everybody who made it. So.
Yeah. Well, and speaking of LeVar Burton, obviously we're huge fans of him because we're a nerd show and we love Star Trek. But there's that other side because he started with Reading Rainbow before. And I feel like growing up, he was like our big brother teaching us about books. And in a lot of ways, kind of America's dad, teaching you to read. Tell us a little bit about approaching LeVar Burton and wanting to do this documentary, and how did he jump on this immediately?
Yeah. Hold on one second. I got to get this. 1 second. Hey. Okay, cool.
All right.
So it was approaching LeVar, and was he?
Yeah. How did he just immediately jump on this project?
We knew from the minute we started concepting this that we couldn't do it without him.
Sure.
We knew that there's no Reading Rainbow documentary without LeVar Burton, so he was among the first people we reached out to. We reached out to his company, his people, and gave them a pitch deck, sort of expressing what we wanted to do. And he was pretty receptive. He read through our stuff. He looked at our other films and sort of where our hearts were in the projects we made in the past, and he was down. So once we got that approval, we were good to go. We didn't need his approval. He even said this to us later. We didn't need his approval, but once we got his blessing, we felt like we could run with it. Yeah.
Well, I feel like you're right. You can't do a documentary about Reading Rainbow without him, the same way you can't have Reading Rainbow without him.
Right. Oh yeah, for sure.
And there were some things that I didn't really realize about him, and what he was doing after Roots, and getting attached to this project and, before Star Trek. So I thought that was extremely fascinating.
for sure.
You talk about in this film that really the biggest challenge was always money.
Yeah.
And it seemed like, some conservative Congress wanted to take away the budget for public funding. Do you feel like more now than ever that we need a show like this again, that maybe this film can inspire us to, whether it's a reboot of Reading Rainbow or to have something similar?
Yeah, I mean, I think that, I think really the thing for us is just, let that go by.
Yeah.
I think really the thing for us is just documentary for kids.
Yeah.
I think, and it's said in the film, but showing real kids to real kids is really valuable.
Right.
Just like, we're documentary filmmakers. As adults, we get so much out of watching the journeys of real people, and not in a reality TV way, but in a documentary way,
Right.
in a sort of artful way. And I think that's really missing. So if we could see that again, that would be amazing.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. Especially when we, have communities trying to ban books.
Right, exactly.
And by the way, we stand with you, LeVar Burton, for calling these people out.
Cool.
All right. So what's next with this documentary? Still doing the film festival circuit, or
Yeah, we're still on the film festival circuit. We just premiered at Tribeca just a couple weeks ago. Continue to do some film festivals, and hopefully finding a home for it pretty soon. So.
Okay, well that's good. You're definitely going to get an editorial from us because, again, all of our staff grew up with this show.
Thank you so much.
All right, here's your nerdy question.
Okay.
We ask all of our filmmakers. If you could have a weapon of choice or a superpower to fight the forces of evil, what would you choose?
A weapon of choice or a superpower?
Or both?
I've always been fascinated with invisibility. I feel like it would be, one of those blessing and a curse type situations. I read The Invisible Man when I was a kid, but I feel like I'd like to be invisible.
That's a great one.
Yeah.
As a documentarian, the amount of stuff you can learn.
Yeah, well, that's how you get like new. You develop a new relationship with the people you're documenting and say, listen, I can be invisible, so there might be times that I'm invisible.
Right.
You don't know, just as long as we agree, that's okay. And then you can actually maybe capture like some real reality,
Exactly.
real life. So anyway,
That's a great one.